Welcome back to the Silver Lining, where it's no filler, no fluff. We just keep it a buck. And today we're going to be reacting to the historic fight last night with Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. We're going to be talking about the fight. We're going to be talking about overall if we feel like the fight lived up to the hype. All right, so I got the crew in the building. Got my brother Stan in the building. What's going on, brother?
Man, it's going good, man. Beautiful Sunday morning. Let's get it.
All right. And I got Kurt in the building. What's going on, brother?
Man, you already know what it is. I'm definitely happy to be here for this one, man. Big fight last night.
All right, so let's get into it, man. I'm gonna start with you, Kurt. What's your overall thoughts on the fight, and do you think it lived up to the hype?
Um, First of all, I want to give a shout out to my man Turkey for making this fight happen, right? Turkey and the Netflix and um Stan was talking about wrestling and how the WWE has become more available to the fan base through an app. Not having to pay $50 for a monster fight is a huge plus for boxing. We actually seen the fight of the century for free, the fight of this generation. Um, the overall card was amazing. Alakel, the Mbili fight, probably it deserves a rematch. Um, but if you want to get to the actual Terence Crawford Canelo fight, um, it wasn't. I'm gonna say it did live up to the hype because they actually did box, but it wasn't as competitive as I thought it would be. That was really a one sided fight. I scored it 10-2. Terence Crawford, I gave Canelo 2 rounds early, but after the seventh round, it was no longer a contest. He was basically walking him down. Then he'd walk him down. He's playing that mind game with him to walk him down, but then get out of there and make you chase me after I won the exchange. And he was doing that to Canelo in different ways the whole fight. So I do believe that it did live up the actual hype of the fight and what we got that last night. Yes, I do think it lived up to the hype because they actually fought. It wasn't like I don't want to be disrespectful, but it wasn't like Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, where they were just sitting looking at each other. It looked like they was just looking at each other, and Floyd was just counter punching. No, this was actually a fight. It's just that Terence Crawford was one step ahead the whole night, and Canelo, because I can't really tell you what Canelo did wrong. You know, like that's his style to walk forward with the head movement and boof boof boof. That's his style. That's how he's been fighting the last maybe 3 or 4 years, maybe. And at 168, you gotta understand Terence Crawford was 147 2 fights ago. He just took this fight at 168. Um, the jab was there all night, technical going to the body here, going back up top. And he wasn't scared to stand toe to toe with him. He stood toe to toe with Canelo. Of course, he got to move, get himself out of there, and can't get stagnated. But all in all, I believe. I mean, I want to say we got what we paid for. We did, but we didn't pay for it. You know what I'm saying? But was it worth the watch? Was it what we expected it to be? And I would say yes. I think it was the venue was chosen right. Just the whole night. It just was a great night for boxing. So shout out to Terence Crawford. Shout out to Canelo Alvarez. Um, Boxing needed that last night. We always talk about boxing getting back to where it was. Because during the Tyson prime era, boxing was just as big as any other sport in the world. So we talk about boxing getting back there, and it's events like this that'll make that happen. So yes, I believe it lived up to the hype, and as a true boxing fan, I'm just happy to see that. You know what I mean?
All right. Stan, what you say?
I mean, I thought it did. I thought it lived up to the hype. Absolutely. I thought it was a fantastic event. It was the type of event that boxing needed. For all the people who are real boxing fans, not into the freak shows that we've been seeing over the years and all the other bullshit that we're seeing. This was a real big event. It felt big. It was big. It lived up to the hype for me. It was a good fight, but like Kurt said, it was. I don't wouldn't want to say it was a one-sided fight completely, but it was a fight dominated by Terence Crawford. It was probably one of the best performances you're going to see in the modern era of
Mhm.
boxing. He was just on point from the start. He knew what he wanted to do. He did what he wanted to do. He controlled the fight, and when he did get into trouble, he countered.
Mhm.
And you could see it on Canelo's face. And Canelo fought a good fight. He just wasn't. He looked old at times to me. There were times where he just looked old, and there were times that Terence Crawford made him like that, look like that. And again, there was times where he got some momentum, landed some punches, and Terrence and Bud just countered him. And you can see it on his
Mhm.
face at one point in the fight where he just had this look on his face like, God damn, man, I don't know what to do. He just had that look on his face of he knew he was in trouble. So once the fight got towards the end of it, that's when he started trying to go for a knockout. And we all know how that works when you try to do that. It doesn't
Yep.
work. Not against a
Yep.
skilled fighter like Bud Crawford. It ain't gonna work. I thought it was a hell of a fight. I thought it was a good fight. Both guys really they were prepared to fight. They went at it. There was some feeling out processes in the fight early on. Both guys
Yeah.
kind of feeling each other out. But once they really felt each other out, then they started attacking. It got really good. Hey, look, like I said, Bud Crawford proved that he's the best fighter of this generation. Period. No
Fact.
questions, no debate. The best fighter of this generation. Whether he's the best fighter of all time, again, that's for debate. And but he proved himself. He proved it. He said what he was going to do. He backed that shit up and took it to Canelo, and he won. You know what I'm saying? It was a fantastic performance.
Truly.
Fantastic performance for Bud. But the fight itself lived up to a hype, I would say. Definitely did.
All right.
Absolutely did. And I hope that we get more fights like this in the
More
future.
event.
I
Yes.
absolutely do.
All right. So I'm gonna piggyback pretty much off what both of you guys said. I agree. First of all, having the fight available on Netflix was huge because everybody tuned in because when you don't have to pay the $50, you're not leaving people in the cold. So I felt like that to me was one of the big things for it. It was an event. I love seeing Michael Buffer out there. It added to the big event feel that it needed. Um, I also loved I love the promotion of the fight because the promotion of the fight what they didn't have to have a lot of like fake like anger and fake trash talk. It wasn't none of that. It was just you know what we're two of the best fighters of this generation, and we're gonna have a boxing match. Come watch it. There wasn't a lot of
Yep.
like fake outrage and fake pre-fight drama. Nah, we having a boxing match. Come watch it. So I thought that was dope. Um, and did it live up to the hype? I would say yes and no. I would say yes because we watched a master at his craft. We watched Bud Crawford
Yep.
put on a boxing clinic, man. So and we saw history, man. I mean, that win puts him in the conversation with the greatest fighters of all time. It
Yep.
just does. When you go up weight classes like that, like you said, he was at what was he 3 years ago? He was at
147.
140,
2 fights
147.
ago, he was
Like
147.
that's insane.
Mhm.
That's insane. And we're gonna play the honor system here. I picked Canelo Alvarez to win this fight, and the reason why I picked him to win this fight is because of that. I felt like I didn't think Bud Crawford could do what he did in that fight for 12 rounds. I didn't think he would be able to carry that escalate for 12 rounds. I thought he looked good early in the fight, but I think as the fight went on, I thought it was going to kind of wane on him. And I thought that when that happened, he would slow down a little bit, and that would give Canelo more opportunity to get more inside fighting going. And I felt like when it got to like the what they call the telephone booth boxing, I felt
Yeah,
like when it got there, I thought Canelo was going to take control of the fight. But even when it got there, he couldn't take control of the fight. Like in every single way you can dominate a fight, Bud Crawford dominated that fight. Typically, when I'm watching a big boxing fight, I usually go on my phone. I'd use the app to like score the fight, and I was doing that. But when it got to like the ninth round, I just threw the phone down. Like, who cares, bro? This fight is over. It's over, man. I never seen Canelo look that bad since he fought Floyd. Like he just could not get anything going in that fight, and that's why I don't think it lived up to the hype. Because honestly, yo, I thought this fight was going to be so competitive that we were going to be arguing on this stream about who actually
who
won.
won?
I thought we was going to have like two people say Bud won, and maybe one person say, "Nah, Canelo won that fight." I thought it was going to be that kind of fight. I thought it was going to be the kind of fight that when it's over, everybody's like, "Nah, fuck, we need a rematch. Sign that rematch. We need another fight on Netflix. Let's get it. Let's get it signed right now." I don't want to see no rematch. I'm good. That's all I need to see. I'm good. So from that perspective, I don't think it lived up to the hype. And maybe that was me getting too hyped up about it. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I was a little too hyped going into the fight. Like, oh boy, here we go, boy. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm scoring every round. So maybe I got a little too hyped. So maybe that's what it was. But it was still a great watch. It was a great event. And, like I said, we saw a master at his craft. And so I would say yes and no. I say yes and no. It lived up to the hype, but I don't know.
And Stan, you said it, bro. Canelo face was just like
Yeah.
my sister was like, he getting ready for church tomorrow.
he knew
Canelo
he
getting
knew
ready for
he
church tomorrow, y'all. He don't want to
he,
be there
he,
no
he,
more.
he just knew that he couldn't do shit with this kid.
Nah.
He knew it. He knew it. And even as he would get some momentum, but would shut his shit down. It was a masterful performance, man. It was just from start to finish, just as good as you're gonna see in boxing. Just a masterful performance, defensive and offensive. Again, we've seen a lot of fighters come along and guys get talked about being the greatest of all time, and it just didn't talk about Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is a great defensive fighter, but his fights was boring as fuck.
Not all of
Not
them.
in it, not some of them were. Most of them were, especially
Not all of
towards
The
them.
the
Money
money, the
Mayweather
money.
era for sure.
Yeah, the Money Mayweather era. He was just more so just like you can't hit me, so that's all I'm going to do. You're just not going to hit me.
Yeah.
And Bud was, like I said, Bud was defensively masterful and offensively masterful.
Was. Yeah.
Just, I don't know what else to say, man. Just a masterful performance. But it's like I said, as far as the fight, living up to the hype, it depends on what your level of hype was for it. Because again, we've seen fights get built up to these massively level, these expectations, and they don't live up to them.
Please fast.
I looked at it as it was a great fight.
Yep.
Two great boxers had a great fight. No bullshit, none of that WWE shit, none of that stuff. Just a great fight. No sleazy promoters in between it. Just
Well,
a
Dana
great.
White. Dana
Oh,
White's
Dana
in there.
White.
Yeah.
Well, again, we
Yeah,
look. We know who's in.
it's
Look, we
turkey.
know who's in.
But it's turkey
Yeah,
though. Dana
Yeah.
White got Dana White,
Yeah.
he talked his talk. But Turkey run that, bro. That
Yeah.
boxing shit, that's Turkey, bro.
yeah,
Turkey know what he's
yeah,
doing.
that's him. He's the guy with all the money. He's the guy with all the influence, all the power. You know what they've done with what these guys have done, teaming up with Netflix and Nick Khan of WWE getting involved as well. Um, it's a lot of powerful, smart people involved now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before it just wasn't that. But you've got powerful, smart, rich people back in this fight. And they put everything into this fight. They put the promotion, money, the everything was into this. And this is how boxing needs to be promoted,
Yep.
and needs to be displayed. Big ass stadium, full, big full stadium, celebrities everywhere. It was what boxing should be now. And I'm hoping that's what it will be going forward. I mean, we still have these freak shows coming up and these circuses coming up with DePaul brothers and whatever is going on with Tyson and
Floyd.
Floyd. I don't know what that is. I don't know who they think wants who's going to promote that, who's going to provide the TV for that. I'm not watching that.
Yes, you are. We all gonna
No,
watch
I'm
it, bro.
not.
You know that. We
No,
all
I'm
gonna
not
watch
watching.
it, dude. We
No,
all
no,
gonna
I'm not.
watch it, bro.
No,
Come
no,
on.
I'm
No,
not.
you're not gonna
No,
watch Tyson, bro.
You gonna watch it, dog. You going to. You
I'm
just
not
have
watching
to.
that. No, I don't have to do shit, man. I'm not watching that. Like I'm not watching that because
Tyson,
again,
70 years old, trying
box.
to get back in the
Yeah,
ring.
I don't want to see that shit. And to be honest with you, I think it's a shame that those guys are willing to do that, make an ass of themselves for another paycheck. But again, either here or there, what we got last night was a great boxing event, a great sporting event. It's what boxing should be. Boxing used to be these massive sporting events. Again, we didn't. Boxing was never like on the top of everybody's mind all year throughout the sports calendar. But then you would get these super fights every couple of
Yep.
years, and they would be just these massive, important sporting events. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what boxing can still be. Is just give me one of these fights a year where it's just a massive event, a sporting event like the
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl, like, on a level of the Super Bowl, on a level of a Game 7 or whatever. And we only get those. Lately we've only been getting those like every 3 or 4 years. So
Yep.
can you just give me one of those every year? But I
Yeah.
think the problem boxing is going to have is finding the fighters that will get the attention of people.
But
You know,
this Netflix shit, because this Netflix should have helped. Because last night, and Beasley and Gonzalez, they had a classic match last night, but right before
Yeah.
Terence
Yep.
Crawford went on.
Yep.
So guys like Beasley, we know who he and Gun. I mean, I've known who those guys were, but like it's about the casual boxing. It's about the
Yep.
boxing fans coming back to boxing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? During that whole Floyd Mayweather duck and dodge, Tom and Jerry era, a lot of people got disinterested in boxing.
You see, I don't agree with that. I felt like they. Well, no, I do agree with that because they were only interested in Floyd fights.
Right.
Right. So
That's what
that's
I'm
yeah.
saying. And it
Yeah.
had to look like Floyd in order for you to get fights. So a lot
Yeah.
of people's trying to do that Floyd shit, and it wasn't them. When Floyd
uh,
retired, when he
Yeah.
retired, we got the Charlos, we got Terence Crawford, we
Yeah.
got Javante, Deontay Wilder was coming up with
Yep.
Anthony Joshua. I'm talking
Yep.
about bangers.
Yeah. For sure.
Boxing went back to banging, but we didn't have the fan base to come back to it.
Yeah.
Now the fans can see boxing is back to banging. They made the ring smaller. They said no more running. They gotta keep busy. It's called like a keep busy rule.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be busy. Just can't be running around and trying to land one punch and then run for 30 seconds and land one punch and run for no, like that is how it's supposed to look. We got Fernando Vargas Jr. last night, even
Yeah.
though he lost.
Yeah.
That was a big match. And that dude, Alec, I know he was only 3 or 4 fights in, but he's already fighting 10 rounders. So you already know they pushing him to be a prospect for sure. So it was just a great card leading up to the
Mhm.
main event.
Right.
Sometimes when you watch these main events, these big time boxers, they be so scared to get hit. Like the main event don't even be like that. It's always an undercard that's better than the main event. It's always like two people that's so hungry that they want to kill each other, and they just go out there and boop 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 boop. That's what Mbili and Gonzalez did last night, man. They just boop, 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 boop. The whole fight, bro. The whole fight. And they called it a draw, which I think was fair. And
Yeah, I thought it was fair.
it's gonna give us a number. Now tell me you
Yeah,
don't want to see that rematch.
yeah, I do for
You
sure.
see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah,
Like we getting back to it. And last night was just a another big step for boxing to get back to where they were. And being that I like Dana White being there, a part of boxing and a part of mixed martial arts, because it just gives us one umbrella now, right?
yeah.
Like, you got Dana. One of these times, bro, we're gonna get a UFC heavyweight championship fight and a boxing championship fight on the same card. Watch, bro.
I don't know if that's even possible. But
It's
okay,
possible, bro. All they
okay.
gotta do is drop the cage from the top.
No, no, it's a little. This ain't wrestling, bro.
No, but I'm saying the
The
UFC,
octagon and the boxing ring, dude. No, it doesn't.
but the octagon could be dropped. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Okay,
It could be
I got
dropped.
you.
Or you could box this. What's wrong with boxing inside the octagon?
I'm sure there's something wrong with it, but um, I want to go back to Bud Crawford. I want to talk about his legacy, and I was thinking about this last night. Um, and I was thinking about Lupe Fiasco, and I was thinking about how the time period in which Lupe Fiasco was the best rapper in the game was kind of a weird time in hip hop where it was going to like that ringtone rap and a lot of like silly non-lyrical rap. And like during that time period is when Lupe Fiasco was the best rapper in the game. I kind of feel like with Bud Crawford, and it's no fault of his own, but he dominated an era of boxing where people didn't really care about boxing. And I feel like while it's not his fault, I do think that's one thing that's going to kind of put a kind of an asterisk on it, even though it shouldn't be. It's not his fault, but I kind of feel like the comparison is similar, where he dominated an era lyrically where lyrical rap wasn't really like that, and then I feel like he dominated an era where boxing just wasn't popping like that. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, obviously what he did with Earl Spence was a big fight, but then this one he had to move up to even get somebody to
To
fight.
get
You know what I
somebody,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like it's not his fault. I'm not faulting him, but I'm saying that you know.
What it was, though, Reggie, what it was, I'm being honest with you. It was Floyd Mayweather Jr. Like, that's really what it was, bro. It was that era of pick and choosing who you want to fight, right? So you're not getting real competitive fights because guys are picking and choosing who they're fighting because they want to stay undefeated, right? And
Right.
then CompuBox, CompuBox numbers. It was all about the numbers. Who landed the greater percentage? So that dictated, and that is what made people say, man, fuck boxing, bro. It's about computers and percentages now.
But
Like,
wait,
it,
hold on. The judges don't get compy box numbers though, do they?
yeah, hell yeah.
They get that
Yeah.
now. They
They
didn't
get
used to.
all of that. They
They
have
didn't
the
used
fight
to.
totals in their face when they make the decision.
Okay, I didn't know that because
Yeah,
because back in the day the judges didn't get that. They had to judge what they saw, and then the numbers came back afterwards. So that's different. I actually don't like that. That's different.
yeah. That's
I
well,
didn't know
well.
that.
That was the Floyd. That's what I'm saying. During the Floyd Mayweather era, that's what it was. Like computer love. They used to call it computer love because it was the CompuBox numbers or whatever.
You sure?
So yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying like the fight totals, like in terms of like how many punches thrown. I believe that it was, but see, what Floyd would do was like he would play that cat and mouse and get you to chase, and you'll throw 5 punches and he'll land one, and then you'll miss 5 punches and he'll land one. So it made it seem like he was being more accurate. Well, really, it was like a soft ass way of boxing, and people got tired of seeing that, so they kind of stepped away. But post post retirement, Floyd, I think the last 10 years we've seen more talent like growing talent. You got the Vargas brothers, you got Abdullah Mason, you got Tank, you got Keyshawn Davis, you got Shakur Stevenson, you got Zayas, you got David Benavidez, you got Fundora. You know, it's just so many Lamont Roach. It's just so many boxers. Alicia Baumgartner, Clarissa Shields, like, and they're going back to boxing. Like they're going back to actually fighting instead of like trying to duck and dodge and land one punch and get out of there. And no, these guys are banging boxing. So I think with boxing is actually winning back fans. You know what I'm saying? Like they're actually winning back the fans that stepped away because of Floyd could do it, but when everybody start trying to do that, it just made it kind of like obsolete. You don't even really see the shell no more. You don't even really see that in boxing. Too many guys shelling like that.
I mean, it's
But
hard to
Floyd
learn that, bro. I heard the Philly shell is hard to learn. Yeah,
and
Hmm.
Floyd had everybody trying to do that shit. Floyd had everybody trying to
yeah,
learn that shit. You see
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like so, I wouldn't like to get back to what you said. I wouldn't say it wasn't because um the Lupe Fiasco situation. I don't think it was because of the talent though, because the talent has always been there in this era. I think it's like the rest of the game is like you say, that Lupe is very accurate because when Floyd was doing the Philly shell, everybody wanted to do the Philly shell, just like everybody started chopping and screwing during that era. You remember that? Just everything
Mhm.
had to be chopped and screwed. And Floyd represents that wave that the industry was on, and Bud has always been different. So I just think I'm just happy to see him get his roses. Because
Right.
if this was the 90s, he'd have been, bro, we'd have been pushed his name up there with everything that he has accomplished. So you're right, it's getting there, it's getting back there. That it was a very um desolate time in boxing,
Yeah.
so it's getting there though. Yeah, for sure.
Shane, what do you think?
I agree. I just think that it's just a matter of, like I said, finding fighters that connect with people to get people interested and want to see them fight. And that's what that's what it's going to come down to. And again, the money is there, the promotion is there, the people in place to promote this shit is there. Gotta get the fighters, and that's really what it comes down to: getting the fighters that's going to give you those fights.
Yep.
So, and again, like I said, I do think the Floyd Mayweather era of boxing was detrimental to fighting. In the Paul brothers getting involved and all the circus shit that we've seen over the last few years, it's hurt. But I think that we have this other side of it. This is a sport. It's not a circus, and it's coming back. It's gonna take time, and it's been taking time, and it's gonna be fine. I think it's getting there, and I think it's. Last night was just a. I just have to say, like last night was just a great event. It was a great event from
Yep.
start to finish. Everything about it was good. The commentary was good. It was good to hear Max Kellerman again. Doing
Yes.
doing
Andre
boxing.
Ward.
Yep.
Yeah, they did a hell of a job on the commentary. So I mean, I was very very happy with the event overall. The fight,
How do you feel
promotion.
about what I was saying about Bud Crawford's legacy though, as far as him
I mean, he
like
can you can't hold that shit against him because again, you fight who you get put who you have to fight. You can't.
Yep.
I understand what you're saying about it in the Lupe Fiasco comparison. I understand it, but I'm not going to penalize him because of that. He is the
Right.
best boxer of this era. I think he is going to go down as one of the greatest. Again, what he just did is fucking phenomenal.
it is. It
It
is.
is,
Winning
bro.
winning titles in two different weight classes. That's a phenomenal deal. And to beat the guys that he's beaten. Again, the last few fights, the few guys that he's beaten, the best of their fields. I mean, Spence, he beat. I
Majimov,
mean, he
Spence,
dominated.
and yeah,
Yeah,
he beat Majimov, Spence, and Canelo. All three of those guys was,
Yeah.
I believe, was undisputed at their division and their
Mhm.
weight class.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you become an undisputed champion in your weight class in two different weight classes. Undisputed champion in two different weight classes. Can't take that away from him now. I
Not at all.
understand what you're saying, and I'm not dismissing what you said. I'm just saying that I can't. I'm not going to hold that account. I'm not going to hold that against him because of what he's accomplished in his career for the last decade. Last 10, 12 years, what he's accomplished has been tremendous. And
Yeah,
last night was more the icing on his cake of I'm the best fighter of this generation.
yeah.
And
And to be
and
clear,
watching
I'm,
him with it.
I'm not doing that neither. I'm not doing it. I'm saying that I know how boxing historians do it. And when they start debating the GOAT, somebody gonna say that. Somebody gonna say, like, all right, yo, yeah, you was the best pound for pound in the era. Nobody gave a shit about boxing. That's what
Well, I
I'm
mean,
saying.
look. They tried to discredit Floyd Mayweather, and again, we're
Right,
doing that same thing. They're
right.
trying to discredit Floyd Mayweather's career. Again, Floyd Mayweather was undefeated, whole career undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say what you want about his boxing style, say what you want about his. At the end of the day, he won and won and won and made great fighters look ridiculous. So you can't take that away from him, regardless of how you feel about him personally. And we all know how how I feel about him personally. I'm not going to say it here, but again, it is you can't take away what he's done in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you can't take away anything from Bud Crawford what he's done, despite the fact that yes, this was not the best era of boxing in terms of public interest.
Yes.
But
But
but I
he's a
do
great
believe
fighter.
that it's still there. There is great interest in boxing still there, as we've seen with this fight, as we've seen with some other fights in the last few years. Even look again. We all know how we feel about the Tyson Jake Paul circus that happened a year ago, but there was interest in it,
Yep, yep.
Yep.
regardless of how much of a circus it was, and how much of a horrific, horrible presentation that it was. It was still a lot of interest in boxing. So I believe there is interest in boxing. I believe there's strong interest. I think the public is very, very, very will get behind a super fight, but it's got to be a super fight. It's got to be promoted white, and it has to be the best of the best at the time. So I'm not going to take nothing away from Bud Crawford and the caliber of fights he's had and the interest in the fight game. That no, I'm not taking that away from him.
Yeah,
He's
and
still
see when go ahead, Sam, I'm sorry.
he's still to me the best pound for pound boxer of this generation.
Yes.
And you can line him up with any of the greats of the past, and his statistics, his credentials will line up with just about anybody.
Yep.
You know
And
what I'm
see, Reg,
saying? That's
what I was trying to piggyback off of what Stan was saying. It wasn't like he was like LeBron playing in a cakewalk East. Like he had to fight for real dogs his whole career. He fought
Hmm.
Sean Porter, fought
Hmm.
Sean Porter Jr., he fought Errol Spence, he fought Magic Moff, he fought you guys, he fought I forgot 50 Cent fight name. 50 Cent fighter. Oh, I forgot his name. Gamboa. Yurkus Gamboa. He fought these guys, man, and he lined them up like and so the knock on him is not necessarily that he didn't fight the talent.
Hmm.
It's just that people weren't paying as much attention
Hmm.
to the fights that he was fighting.
Hmm.
And now we could look, you could say it's kind of like a in retrospect, you look back, because they always say he ain't fight nobody. But the niggas look just as bad as Canelo did when they fought. You know what I'm saying? So I guess Canelo ain't nobody, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you in retrospect, you have to give. Now, am I going to rank him with Hagler and Hearns and all those guys? Like resume wise, yes, but those dudes was throwing 100 punches around, bro. Like that whole pace of the '80s, like that is something that's crazy. Like yes, NFL has evolved, NBA has evolved, but boxing, the niggas in the '80s and in the '70s and the
Yeah.
early '90s, they was different animals.
Right.
But Terence Crawford has the resume, he has the fighters, and now it's time for him to get the roses to equal what his resume has been. You know what I'm saying? And I think he for sure gonna get it after last night. For sure.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite part of last night. Just the fact he got his roses. You could see in his face he knew he was gonna get his roses. So yeah, that was my favorite part of last night. Happy for him, man. Great fighter. Um, so before we close out of here, I guess the question that's obviously on everyone's mind after a big event like that is what's next? I mean, what's next for both fighters? I mean, they're both of their legacies are etched in stone. I mean, obviously, I know we're banging on Canelo right now, but I mean, Canelo Alvarez is a absolute legendary fighter. I mean,
Legendary.
legendary. So what's next for him? I mean, is any big fights left for him? And obviously, same for Bud Crawford. Is Bud Crawford? He's only 38, right?
Yeah, 38. Yeah.
38. And I mean, that used to be old for a fighter, but now we're seeing it's different now where you can kind of keep
These
going. So,
medications, these niggas playing
yeah,
quarterback at 50.
right, right. So, what's next for Boy? I think Kurt's a little bit more into the boxing game than me and Stan are. So, can you give us some insight? Is like what's next? What do you think is next for both guys? Because I don't think anybody wants to see a rematch. I think we're good on that. So, what do you think?
It depends on the money. Like if I'm Canelo Alvarez and I'm financially stable, I'm walking away. If I'm Terence Crawford and I feel like I got the money that I deserve, then I might walk away. But if you want to talk about a match, I think for Terence Crawford, the only thing left for him to do is 175. And there's a guy by the name of David Benavidez up there at 175. I do think 175 would be really pushing it.
Yeah,
That
that's
would be
pushing,
like
bro. Yeah,
what, but 168 was really pushing
yeah. I
it.
thought that was pushing it. Yeah, for sure.
So
Hmm.
I think if Terence Crawford wants to add, because at this point in time, Boots would be a good fight for him. There's a couple guys you can name, but at this point in time, he's already done the biggest thing that he's going to do in his career. So at
Yeah,
this point in time, only thing Terence Crawford would really be fighting for would be to keep his legacy going and to make money. Now, because now his name is big enough to get money, 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 right? And with this new Netflix shit, niggas is getting paid right then and there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no more waiting for the door and waiting for pay-per-views and how many people. No, you 20 million a night. Soon as you walk in the first bell ring, we're going to send $20 million to your bank account. They Turkey paying them niggas up front. So, but to me, Terence Crawford, the only thing it would be for him to legitimize his legacy further would be to be 160. Go ahead, listen, gain 7 pounds and go fight David Benavidez. I mean, that's the only thing left. He's beat Earl Spence.
yeah,
The man got 3 undisputed belts in 3 straight fights. He beat Earl Spence, got the undisputed. He beat Madrimov, got the undisputed. Then turned around and beat Canelo last night.
yeah.
3 undisputed belts in 3 different divisions and 3 straight fights, bro. Like, what are we talking about here, yo? Like, so it's really nothing left. Like, he's LeBron. Now LeBron did everything. He's just doing
Yeah,
it because of the game. If he
right.
fought again, it would be because I want to play Jack and I love this shit. But honestly, they both can sell off into the sunset if they wanted to after this fight, for sure.
Yeah.
I think Canelo should. I think he should. You gotta understand, Canelo's had almost 70 fights.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like I think Canelo. This was a giant payday for Canelo, and he lost to an outstanding boxer. You never want to leave the game on a loss, but when you're Canelo, what else can you? The only thing else he can do to redeem himself is to fight Terence Crawford again, and I don't
Yeah,
think we're going to see that again. So I think he should retire, but Crawford is up to him in terms of do he want a big payday? Because David Benavidez at 175, that's to be a monster fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's really up to Terence Crawford. But I think he should either retire or fight David Benavidez at 175 and really prove you that nigga, for real, for real. So that's my opinion of it.
if he just stayed at the weight class he's at now, though, I mean, could he maybe get another 3, 4 fights just to get that? I don't know if he has enough time to get all the way to 50, but I mean, if he stayed, because I don't know, that going up another weight class just seems like, I don't know, bro. And I
It's
mean,
nothing there for him at 168 though.
so there's nothing there.
I mean, maybe I forgot my guy that beat Canelo. Oh my God. Oh God, I can't forget. I can't remember. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. There's one boxer there, the other guy that beat Canelo. Oh, God. God, I forgot his
Um,
name.
I don't know how to pronounce Dimitri Bivol.
Bevo. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dimitri Bevo. Bevo would be a great fight for him. But
it's not really no sparkles to it, I guess.
yeah, like it's I mean, if you want to talk stylistically, it'd
But
be cool.
let
But
me ask you,
is it worth coming down to do it? You know what I mean?
do you think that, like, with that fight last night though, like, because I feel like, because that was such a big event, that now he's reached, like, it's not the same as Floyd, but it's kind of a similar vein where it's like, if he's fighting, regardless of who he's fighting, everyone's going to watch because it's him and because he's undefeated. And so that goes into it. Like, you don't want to be the person that wasn't watching when he actually lost. Because I mean,
Um,
that was a thing with Floyd. It was a thing of, like, you didn't want to be the guy that, like, I ain't ordering that, and then you wake up like, oh my God, Floyd lost. You wanted to
yeah, but
be there if it actually happened. So
Floyd fought big names though.
he
He fought
did, he
Sugar
did,
Shane, he
yeah,
fought De La Hoya, he fought Cotto,
yeah.
he
Cotto
fought
was my favorite
rest in
fight.
peace,
I love the Cotto fight.
rest in peace. He fought Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, rest in peace,
Like
Ricky Hatton.
you gotta have a dancing partner. You
Yeah,
gotta have a dancing partner. You know what I mean? Especially after you just fought. Like he could, if he wanted to just like get his feet wet at 168 and fight other niggas before Canelo, cool. But after you fight Canelo at 168, Bevo is the only thing there. You know what I'm saying? Bevo is there. It's probably a couple guys he could fight, but it's not going to. It's like it's like you seen somebody battle Nas, right? But then the next battle, he want to battle Gucci Mane. Like, bro, you just beat Nas, bro. Why would you even want to battle Gucci Mane? You see what I'm saying? That's how the boxing fans would
yeah,
feel. Like,
yeah.
you just beat a GOAT. Like, okay, so if you're not about to battle Jadakiss, if you're not about to battle Andre 3000, if you're not about to battle somebody that's on that wave, it's a
Yeah,
letdown.
I got
It's
you.
a
Because
letdown.
yeah, it's a letdown because why are you like with Tank and Jake Paul? They like, why are you fighting Jake Paul, Tank? But Tank need the money, and it's an exhibition. You know what I'm saying? But we looking at it like, bro, you're fight like when Floyd fought Cotto, he turned around and he fought Rodriguez, and we was like, why the fuck is you fighting him? Like
Wait,
you just beat Cotto. Why are you fighting this guy? Like, and in the
you talking about
social media era,
you talking about
it could
Madonna?
be
You talking about, but that was a good fight. The first
no,
fight
not
with Floyd and Madonna.
Maidana.
Okay,
Um, no, Maidana was a for sure
the
fighter. He
first
fought a
one was,
guy.
yeah.
He fought a guy, Rodriguez.
I'll look it up.
He fought a guy named Guerrero.
Robert
I'm sorry, it was
Guerrero. Robert
Guerrero.
Guerrero. Yeah,
He fought Robert Guerrero,
I don't even
and we
remember
was
that
like,
fight.
why the hell are you even who
I don't even remember that fight.
who? Like, and see now the social media and the canceling and the wishy washy fan is at an all time high. So we saying who after Canelo, he might just ruin all of the roses we just gave him. So he has to have the right fighting partner. And
Gotcha.
now the thing about him though that helps him is we know he could fight in any weight class. So if he wanted to go to 140 to fight Tank, he could make that happen. If he wanted to go to 147 to fight Brian Norman, he started at 135.
I know, but now time, I don't know. I don't know.
Bro, I'm not down, bro. The way the boxing boxers put on and take off weight, he could be ready to fight Tank this time next year at 140 if he wanted to.
But yeah,
So
that would be a mega fight for sure.
yeah, he
Yeah,
gotta have a dancing partner.
yeah.
As long as he got the right dancing partner, go ahead. If he's not gonna get the right dancing partner, I would like to see Brian Norman Jr. I would like to see Boots. If it's not gonna be one of those, or David Benavidez. If it's not one of those three, he might as well walk away. Or maybe Bevo. Bevo isn't a bad fight also.
All right. So before we close out, Stan, anything you want to add?
I think that if I was Bud Crawford, I would just ride off into the sunset because again, like you said, once you've accomplished what he's accomplished in these last three fights that he's had, at that point you're just chasing the bag. At that point,
Mm-hmm.
and again, I don't know how much of an interest I would have in a rematch with him and Canelo. I don't. I can see it happening though.
I can't.
I can see it happening. I can
I
see
can't.
them convincing them to come back and do it again. Um, I don't know how much interest it would be in that, but I could see it happening. But like you said, if Crawford is not going to fight, if it's just about the bag, that's one thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because again, I think he's at the level now that he could get a great payday on his own, no matter who he's fighting. I think he is at that level now. I think he's at that level where people will watch him fight. But again, it's just a matter of what he wants to do. He could walk away and he'd be fine. If I was him, I probably would walk away at this point. Because
Yeah.
again, what else is there for you to do? You've done everything. You've beaten the best of your generation. You've won the titles. You've made the money. I'm sure you got a hefty payday for this Netflix fight. I don't know what else there's for him to do. But again, if he wants to keep chasing bags, then okay, cool. He could get it fighting guys that maybe a level below him in terms of stature. I don't know. But if I was him, I'd walk away. And I was Canelo, I would do the same thing. I think he's had a wonderful career, uh, made a lot of money, but he looked a step slower at times to me last night. He just a little slower, a little old. So I think maybe his time has come. His time has come as well. But it was two great fighters, the best of their generation, going at it, and you know, I think that was it for both of those guys. I think that both of those guys should just hang it up. Again, that was the best. It's not going to get any better than what they had last night. To me, it's
Yeah.
just not. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any bigger than what they had last night. So
Right.
unless they're just chasing the bag, which again I don't have anything against that. As long as you're not making an ass of yourself, as long as you're not falling into the trap of the circus of fighting
Right.
old guys,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That
that
is an
kind of that
option.
kind of.
He could get involved in the freak shows. That is an option, I guess.
And I prefer they don't do that. And I think you just again just walk away, take your bread, and just walk away. But who knows? I'm sure that Bud had that feeling after the fight that you know what, man, I'm good. But he's a competitor, and those guys sometimes don't know when to walk away. So we'll see what happens, we'll see what happens. But it was a great event last
It's
night.
hard to walk away when you can make 40, 50 million too, right? It's hard to
Yeah.
just walk
Exactly.
away when you know you can make 50
Yeah.
million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to just say, yeah, I'm good, and then they come back to you. Look, man, we'll just give we'll find your opponent. He's 50 million. Cool. Let's do it. It's just
Let's go.
I don't. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it going. And so, but if I was both guys, I would just let it go from there. Because again, it's not going to get any bigger than what you had last night. For either one of those guys, I don't think it would be.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say, and I'll give Kurt the last word, is man, like I just hope that like for everybody else, you got that feeling, that love for boxing back in your system watching that event because like that. I mean, now I will say, bro, like we got to do better time wise, bro. I mean, I sent Stan a text. It was probably like 12, 56 a night, and Michael Buffer is just saying, "Let's get ready to rumble." Like, we just can't
Yeah,
have that, bro. You got
Yeah,
to
that's
give,
embarrassing.
like, that's
That's
just,
embarrassing.
they got a
The
whole
fight started too
concert going
fucking late.
on. Yeah, they got a
Yeah,
whole
that's too
concert
much. That's
going
too
on, bro.
much.
Like, we give us some help. And we're on the East Coast, bro. Like, we can't do that. We can't be saying, "Let's get ready to rumble" at 12:56. We just can't. Um, but
Yeah, I
that
agree with
aside,
that one.
that
I do
aside,
agree with
man. Yeah, that aside, it was a great event. It was a great night, and you just that feeling that there's nothing like that moment right before a big fight. Like, nothing like that. They touch gloves and they go to their corners. It's like, oh my god, here we go. Like, it's
that
nothing.
anticipation.
It's nothing like it, man. So I hope everybody else got that feeling of boxing back in their systems, and I hope this can be the start of boxing getting back in the forefront. Keep the Netflix thing going, and I think we could have something here. And Kurt, I'll give you the last word.
I want to say rest in peace to Ricky Hatton. While
Yes.
we on boxing, definitely um start out with saying that. And this is what I will say. Shout out to Turkey for putting these events together because the money is no longer an excuse for you to not fight. Guys would be scared. I'd be scared to fight Stan, and I would say, well, the money ain't right. And I'm just really just scared to fight Stan. Well, the money is no longer an excuse. If you heard somebody say the money ain't right, it's because he's just scared. Period. He don't want that smoke. So I want to give a shout out to Turkey. And yeah, man, like boxing, we back, baby. I've been holding it down. I feel like I've been holding it down for myself. That was a big win for all of us last night that love boxing, bro. That wasn't just for Terrence, man. We won last night, bro. And shout out to Netflix for putting it on, man. Um, Terence Crawford, time to walk away. Canelo has to walk away. So
that.
yeah, it's time. Yeah, 70 fights, bro. You got 70
Yeah.
fights, bro. It's time to
It
let it
is.
go.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of fights. Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, man.
I
I'm
think.
just happy about it. Yeah, I'm just happy. Shout out to Terence Crawford. Shout out to Bomac, his trainer, man. Bomac, man. You know, one of the best trainers in boxing. So, and I say my one more thing I want to say. I say my nigga Freddie Roach last night, bro. I love Freddie Roach, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shout
he
out
did
to
it
Freddie
too.
Roach.
All right. Let's leave it there, fellas. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Till next time.
All right, man.
Peace.
Thanks a lot, man.
Peace.
Good.